Hi, everyone. I'm Nancy.
And I'm Stephanie.
And if you enjoy our show, please like and subscribe.
And hit that notification bell.
We're also on Instagram at TWiN, and you can also find us on X. December 10th. And unfortunately, that dumb Polo documentary came out. It is worse than we thought. Okay, so I didn't know this. I thought it was just like a 2-hour thing. It's 5 episodes.
Yeah, it's a Bravo show.
Yeah.
It's Southern Charm on steroids, because
Yeah.
they do the same thing on Southern Charm. There's a lot of horses being abused, Polo
Really?
stuff. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I don't watch it anymore.
It looks like a disaster. We're not the only ones saying it. A lot of big figures in the media are absolutely trashing this venture that Harry and Meghan are on with this Polo documentary. So we did an episode where we picked apart the documentary. We also did an episode where Nacho was doing press for the documentary, and this is basically what it is. They're trying to hype it like anybody can be interested in this sport. It's very relatable.
It's affordable.
It's inclusive.
Yeah.
So I want to thank Page 6 for not having me have to skim through all these episodes. They told us that they're only on the 5th episode, which they were, and they were only on for like 3 minutes. And just to bring up inclusivity, we want to thank our friend on X, Ellen C. She said, and oh, by the way, as an equestrian since the age of 5, I have competed in multiple disciplines with men and against men my entire life. The only professional equestrian sport that separates men and women is polo. In fact, equestrian and sailing are the only sports that men and women compete on equal footing, except polo. I wonder what the proclaimed female affirming feminist who produced Polo on Netflix has to say about that. So thanks, Ellen, for bringing that to our attention since we've never played Polo before. I want to thank Brittany from Royal News Network for putting this little tiny snippet of the horses banging into each other. I don't even want to play it on the show. It's really disturbing. It's awful. I put it up on X, and I'm hoping that other, Cruelty International see it. I put PETA on there. We put other animal rescues, just hoping they'll see it and see how cruel this documentary is. I mean, they could have taken that out. They didn't have to include that of the animals clunking together like that. And it didn't look like it was a good time. So now we're going to get to the People magazine, where this is them propping up Harry and Meghan. This is what Harry and Meghan want you guys to read. Inside Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's vision for Netflix Polo, they were extremely hands-on. That's really good to know. Showrunner Milos Bloch tells People that the Duchess of Sussex's love for tailgating at the polo match sparked a light bulb moment, shaping the inspiration behind the series. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were totally focused on bringing the world of polo to Netflix with their new documentary series Polo. The show's executive producer and showrunner Milos Bloch says, "They were wonderful. They were extremely hands-on," the showrunner exclusively tells People. "They really had a vision for trying to get polo to be accessible to a wider audience. Prince Harry knows the sport inside and out. To be able to have him as someone to bounce ideas off of and then also to get notes from, maybe if you edit it like this, the polo will just feel even more exciting." See, I love this. The buck stops with Harry and Meghan. This showrunner is totally throwing them under the bus. So everything you see right now in those 5 episodes is because Harry and Meghan were pushing for that crap. You got to make sure that the point is played out like this, because that's how you keep it factually accurate, Bloch said. To have a polo expert in-house with him was so special. I think a lot of projects have EPs that can give great notes, but it's rare that you have someone who's truly an expert in the subject that you are documenting.
You have to remember, that's what they want us to hear. People magazine is their voice. Harry and Meghan wanted that leaked. And that dude, that showrunner, obviously was told to say all that kind of stuff.
Talk about backfiring.
Wow.
Big time.
Huge backfire.
And what the heck is that guy talking about? He's like, it's nice to have an expert. Are you saying that you're the first documentary filmmaker ever to bring on an expert of the subject that you are documenting?
That's
Are
amazing.
you serious?
I mean, men that talk about war. I mean,
Golf,
women that talk about
basketball,
miscarriages. I mean, it's just they don't know what they're talking about.
They've never brought an expert on.
No.
And now they have Harry and Meghan as their experts.
God.
It's just got, I can just see.
I mean, she's a little tailgater.
I can just see Meghan in the editing bay just going, maybe if you do it like this. Oh, it's great. Make those horses, make sure you keep that shot of those horses smacking into each other and hurting each other.
And that's just an hour a week they work.
Yes. Now let's get to the actual American magazines who are actually criticizing this stuff. Reviewers savage Harry and Meghan's Polo show as a dull indulgence. I like how they go horsey hiccup. Professional reviewers have raced to give Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's new show about the horseback sport of polo a kicking on the day of its release. British newspapers are the first out of the blocks publishing unflattering reviews of Polo, which was executive produced by Harry and Meghan within hours of it dropping on Netflix Tuesday. The Telegraph gave the tedious inside look at the game 2 stars, and its reviewer concluded there's lots of blood, sweat, and tears in this series, but not enough of the Sussexes to make this anything other than a dull indulgence about a rich person's pursuit. This horsey hiccup is another bad nay day for the Sussexes and their media ambitions. The UK Guardian contrasts the game of polo, which it describes as the stupidest, most obnoxious sport known to humanity, the Sussexes' lofty mission statement on signing their reputed $100 million deal with Netflix when the couple airily declared they wanted to create content that informs but also gives hope, utilizing powerful storytelling through a truthful and relatable lens. There's that lens word again. Its verdict on the series, Polo looks destined to fall through the submenus into obscurity at the speed of light, and rightly so. It's clattering and niche, and it feels like a spoof documentary designed to play on screens in the background of episodes of Succession. Referring to Meghan's forthcoming home and entertaining show, the reviewer cracks, "Here's hoping the cookery show does better." Harry and Meghan only make a brief appearance in the final episode, but showrunner Milos Bollock told Variety that Harry definitely had a vision for the show, adding, "He was very involved from the start in terms of suggesting where we might want to look for storylines. And then in the edit, he was incredibly helpful. He was giving so many ideas of like, hey, you know what I love so much about polo is that feeling when you're on the horse and you just feel the speed and you feel the excitement and you feel the roar." What?
He didn't say that.
You mean to tell me that he's meeting with the documentary filmmaker?
Yes.
And this is what he adds to the meeting. You know what I love?
You know what
I love it when I'm just on that horse and I can feel the speed and the excitement and the roar. I mean, talk about
in the wind in my hair,
in my hair. Yeah, what hair? Former friends of Harry have already given their reviews to the Daily Beast, telling us they were left in appalled hysterics when the trailer dropped. Well, it doesn't look good so far.
No, I can't imagine anyone with a positive review.
I mean, can you imagine giving those to $100 million for anything?
Yes.
It's just completely insane.
Yes, when they came to America, yes.
Yeah, no,
I would have given $100 million.
How about this though? How about be smart and go, let's see what you can do first?
No, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
No, they were dumb.
So we could not play Meghan and Harry's scene because it's copywritten. However, I did screenshots and Stephanie and I will describe to you what goes on. Ugh. And there is a very cringe scene of Meghan pretending to speak fluent Spanish again, but we're going to show you how that is a lie. So they started off with these two losers walking in, you know, just your everyday couple, you know, your polo couple.
Your everyday Bravo celebrity.
Exactly. And it's the Grand Champions Polo Club in Wellington, Florida. And this is for the Centabali charity match. And then they show all the people walking in, just your normal average people.
I mean, anyone could play this sport. Anyone could go to see this sport.
I know.
Right? Tickets are probably not that horribly expensive.
And then, I'm sure those dresses, those are your average, Target dresses. You go
course.
buy those at Target.
Yeah, they don't care about how you look there.
No.
They'll let anybody in.
And of course, we've seen this already. We've seen Harry and Meghan with their friends Nacho and his heiress wife. Harry's just looking so cool staring at Nacho. That's weird. So then there's this scene that comes up and Harry is putting on his boots. Now, the camera angle is not a friend to Harry in this scene whatsoever. You would think he'd wear a hat or something, but he doesn't. But he's talking to the guy that is competing against his son.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, it must be hard. How is it like competing against your son? And he's like, well, whatever, no big deal. Like, the problem is these dudes who play polo, they don't know how to act or react, and neither does Harry. So Harry is just asking questions that he already knows the answers to because he already knows that guy.
Yeah.
And he's the executive producer. This is his vision. So he already knows the storyline.
Why don't they just say Polo scripted comedy on Netflix? Why don't they just sell it like that?
A comedy by Christopher Guest.
Scripted comedy.
Yeah. More of Harry just trying to put on his boots and just that shot of his head. Again, I don't know if the director even likes Harry at this point.
Thank God the cameras were there to get this conversation.
I know. That's what I love about this.
Thank you, Jesus.
Spontaneous documentary series. So then they show like all the nice food that they're serving, the canapes, like there's flowers everywhere. And then you see Serena Williams show up and she's like, hey, Harry.
I'm just here for my paycheck.
And of course, they have to put Serena Williams, tennis legend. And of course, she doesn't bring her husband and her daughter. The reason being is because this is a job for her right now.
Job.
She was called because she has a deal with Netflix coming out. She was called by the people over at Netflix and they were like, you have to make an appearance.
I have a sneaking suspicion that she might be one of those people that are guest starring on that cooking show.
I think you might be right.
Little sneaking suspicion.
So Serena's there, which we already knew. So then they show the teams that are playing. And so this is Harry's team, and he wanted to call his team the Team Royal Salute Sentabali. Nacho's team, then these guys who nobody ever talks about or even mentions at all. And then Serena's here, and Nacho and Meghan shows up eventually, and she's got her. I am like convinced that Meghan was like, make my hair look like a horse's tail, because doesn't it look like a horse's tail kind of?
That's her call time.
Yeah. So here's the dude that showed up with the hot wife who's pregnant, and he's like, oh man, I'm just having such a bad season. I'm just going to lose. Blah, blah. So here's his wife, and she's on the sidelines, and she's just kind of like talking to everybody going, oh, everything's fine, but I never see him anymore, and complaining about her life. Stephanie, is this a Southern Charm moment?
Yeah, it's a housewives moment, definitely.
Okay.
They know when the cameras come up.
Yes.
And they know how to sell it.
Yeah, just totally normal.
Total
inclusive.
normal conversation.
Then they show this dude, and I don't know, he must be one of the team captains of the actual A story that's going on in this thing. I have no idea. I really don't care. And then they do a really quick shot. This is the crispest shot I could get. Do a really quick shot of Nacho hugging the team captain, and there's Meghan sitting over there, and she's trying to like talk to them, and they don't even pay attention to her.
Well, she sees the camera and she knows, this is a job.
Yes. Here is the fluent Spanish part. This dude comes up to her
out of nowhere
and goes to shake her hand, but of course Meghan has to hug him like they are best friends. So he's like, hello. And he goes, nice to meet you. Very well. How are you? And then Harry goes, she's fluent in Spanish. And he goes, really?
The cameras are right there.
Yes. Thank goodness for the cameras. Now, again, guys, this was all scripted. There is absolutely no way that they didn't know they were going to have this conversation. Now, Meghan then goes right into some sort of weird Spanish that sounds Italian. And she says, I lived there about 20 years ago. That would have put her at 23, 24 in Palermo Viejo. But Brittany from Royal News Network already confirmed, because she was an intern at an embassy. She said, look, that's not how it works. You don't live there long enough that you get immersed in the language and you know the language that well. Also, if Meghan was fluent in Spanish, because our mom is fluent in Italian and French, you do not need a little earpiece translator when you are in a foreign country and everyone around you is speaking Spanish. That is not the definition of being fluent in Spanish. So what happened was Meghan obviously memorized what she was about to say. Got to give it up for Meghan on this part, though, because this is a classic grifter move. She covers her face while she's talking to him because she knows the camera is going to catch her. And she knows that anybody who actually speaks fluent Spanish out there is going to know that she doesn't speak fluent Spanish by watching her spit out the words wrong. And she also knows that she can go back and dub her voice if she gets the Spanish wrong. So then he goes, that's great. That's where the polo fields were. So this sort of trips Meghan up. She's like, doesn't know what to say at this point. And then she goes, yes, but I love the 25th of May. Now, how is that an answer? So I think what happened was he said something off the script, and then she repeated what she had already memorized.
Oh, yeah.
I love the 25th of May. So then he goes, yeah, that's great. Cool. So then there's like this weird pause. Then she just turns to Harry.
She claws him.
But as she's turning to Harry, she's backing up.
What she's doing is she's making a joke because she's super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And she's grabbing him, showing, I want to get out of here.
Yeah. And she looks at the guy and she goes, yeah, he can speak Spanish, because Harry's like, no, I can't.
She's diverting attention away from herself.
Yes. So then Harry does the generic poquito, poquito. And then Meghan does this thing where she points to the guy and she goes, look over there. And the guy turns around, and that way she can just completely get away from the conversation.
It's sort of like when someone says, hey, dude, look. And then they run.
Yes.
That's exactly what she was doing. But in a polo kind of way.
Yeah, look at that. And they show a shot of the guys just standing there. A lot of the shots are the guys in slow motion. Actually, everybody in slow motion. And it's just a lot of just walking.
Bravo.
Standing around.
Andy Cohen is just in awe right now.
So then Harry makes a goal. I don't know. Is that what it's called? A goal? I don't know.
A shot.
A shot. Whatever. He makes it, and she starts clapping, and she goes, woo! You know, like she is like such a PY.
No, I mean, they have all the notes. They know exactly where they're going to turn the camera. Mm-hmm. Everything is so pre-planned. That's what it makes my heart broken about the horses. The horses have no clue what's going on. Mm-hmm. They're doing all the work.
Yeah. Then they show a shot of the audience. You guys, it was like nobody there. It was crazy how no one was there. And just, it looked like somebody put an ad in a paper saying Harry and Meghan are going to be at this thing. And a bunch of people that wanted to take pictures came.
Nacho on that Access Hollywood interview was like, people come from all walks of life. I don't see that anywhere.
No. Nobody was there.
There's more people at my high school tennis tournament than that.
Okay. Then they show a shot while everybody's getting their trophy. They show a shot of the wife who's pregnant watching her husband get the second place trophy. And he's like, I just can't beat Harry. He just came to win. Blah, blah, blah.
God.
So they show this shot of her, and then they show a shot of him getting whatever second place there is. And then they show another shot of her. I'm not kidding. This is the sequence, guys. I'm not making this up.
This is a storyline that Harry is the sequence. He's so obsessed with.
Then they show her clapping like that. Then they just show this shot of her just sort of
cradling her belly.
Then she goes, man, I'm just so happy that he's able to play right now. But, you know, being pregnant, it's really hard because I haven't been able to be on a horse and I just miss being on a horse. So the whole time you're thinking she's sad about something that might be interesting. Maybe she's sad that her husband's always gone. He's not really there while she's pregnant, blah, blah, blah. No, she's upset that she can't ride a horse. That's why she's upset. They show another shot of her. I'm not kidding. Again, this is the sequence. They show Meghan coming up
not this.
and giving the award, and Harry acting stupid like, are you going to give it to me? Do I get the kiss?
Do I get it?
Do I get a kiss?
You're not going to kiss them?
And then they show another shot of her.
As the sun is setting.
Yeah. And then they show Harry and Meghan kissing. Again, it's like so smooth. Not what we saw when we saw the outtakes, you know, when we first saw the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's so smooth, guys. Then they show her again clapping. I'm not kidding. This sequence of constantly panning over to this woman, I'm not understanding why they kept doing
The purse, she's merching it.
Then they show Harry and Meghan again. I'm not kidding, you guys. And then they show her one last time.
And this is the 5th episode.
Yes, this is the last episode.
Wow, how riveting.
That is Harry Meghan's scene. It ran flawlessly, but we all remember what happened, how Meghan was pushing that woman from Sentabali out of the way. It was so embarrassing. They didn't even show that woman from Sentabali up there with Harry and Meghan this time.
And I remember giving not really giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I was thinking in my head going, well, maybe Meghan will stay off to the sidelines, because I kept seeing her staying off to the sideline. Little did I know that Meghan was just off to the side at craft service.
I can only imagine Meghan was the one who was like, this sequence of events, we should do it like this. Put it on her, then put it on me, then put it on her, then put it on me. Will really show the struggle
and the fashion
that a Polo wife has to go through.
Just want to thank K-Star on X for reminding us that if this does pass in your direction tonight, if you're on Netflix and you see it, just go to the thumbs down button and hit it. Do not watch it. For the love of God, don't watch it. Do not give them ratings. But if you do see it, just hit that thumbs down button.
I like how it says inspiring, heartfelt.
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow. So that is Polo, and I'm pretty sure that's the last we're going to hear about it ever again. It does make me sad about the animals, and hopefully somebody will come out and
that's
something.
What Nancy and I, we can't share the actual scenes with you, the video scenes with you on YouTube. But if you guys want to go over to our X Twitter page, we are following up on this. We are trying to get a hold of PETA, ASPCA, anyone who will listen. Guys, tag them, go show the video, tell them what Harry's doing. I mean, this is abuse, in my opinion. And I would imagine yours as well.
Yes.
But I've just seen so many of these horses today getting kicked around, pushed, and they're doing all the work. Again, they're the ones doing all the work. These men are not men, in my opinion. Okay? They are a bunch of peas, in my opinion. And
little bees.
They're little bees. But I would just really encourage everyone to go onto their social media. Again, tag PETA, ASPCA, whatever other animal rescues that you guys know about, horse rescues, anyone who will listen. Get this documentary taken off Netflix. There's no reason for it to be on. It's a piece of poo, and we are not going to let it happen again. This is not going to go a second season.
No.
Okay? Not going to happen on our watch.
That brings us to our animal rescue today. It's Polo Pony Rescue. It exists to rescue horses, primarily former polo ponies that have been neglected, abused, seized by law enforcement, or at risk of slaughter, provide any needed veterinary care, rehabilitation, or retraining, and find them new, loving homes. Please, please, please go check out their link in the description below. Share them with friends and family. Donate if you can. Polo Pony Rescue. They're doing amazing work. Let's get the word out.
Please share, please. And again, guys, everyone who had to watch that, again, everyone that is doing the work, sharing all this stuff, we understand it is hard to watch. And we appreciate everything that you guys are doing. They are innocent animals that cannot speak, so we have to be the voice for the voiceless. So thank you to everyone who is sharing and spreading the word on this monstrosity. All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We
We'll
love
see
you.
Tomorrow.
Bye.